Final series of the night for day one of TI10's group stage, and it is a very, very good one, Kyle. Evil Geniuses versus Invictus Gaming. There's some spice, there's some drama, and even better, both of these teams seem to be pretty good right now.
Indeed, I think EG is 4-0, IG is 3-1. So
Okay.
a little bit of jostling for the top positions, but more importantly, I think EG wants revenge.
Yeah, just a little bit, because notoriously we had our very first major. Evil Geniuses looked very good. They go into the grand finals, 2-0 up against IG. Probably should have won that third game. Really should have won that third game, and then they get a question mark.
Indeed, and I got to tell you, I'm thinking that EG, they may have turned a corner, right? I got the opportunity to talk to Dr. K, their mental coach, who's here, and I was impressed in 7 minutes. So I can't imagine what they've done with their 7 weeks. And
so they've been working together for 7 weeks now?
I think it's actually a bit longer. I can't remember exactly. I think it might have been since the previous major, but virtually only. I'm not quite sure. Like I said, only at 7 minutes, and I was really more concerned with me than with EG. But now that we're casting...
Yeah, well, that's a lot to fix in a short period of time, Kyle. I'm not sure if you can ask Dr. K for miracles, but apparently he's done wonders for Evil Geniuses. For those of you guys who don't know what happened to the Singapore Major, they got question marked mid-series and in Game 3. They should have won that Game 3. IG makes this great comeback. Emo drops a question mark, and Evil Geniuses, it felt like they literally just shattered right then and there. Despite being up still in the series, 2-1, they proceeded to lose the next 2-1 games.
Yeah, they even said it themselves. I think it was Crit who said, like, yeah, they tilted.
Yeah.
Like, they just tilted, and that, that happened. We also saw
Crit said, I can give you the exact quote here. It said, in a way, we lost the grand finals to ourselves. The team had a bit of a meltdown. A meltdown, okay? And our mentality wasn't the best. Makes sense they called up Dr. K, because that is apparently, if they felt like that was still an issue after Singapore Major, they go into the next major, they lose that grand finals. No major tilts, it didn't seem like, but...
And I've noticed a change, okay? Bulba has been banned from fiending, okay? He refused...
Oh, he's probably getting the shakes right now.
He refused. He actually happened. He walked. We were hanging out, me, Sumel, and Sania, and Effie, and he walked past us, and you could see him want to talk to us. He wanted to sit, and we're like, "Hey, come hang out." He's like, "I can't," and he kept going. Almost to the elevator. He did walk back and talk to us. He said not to tell anybody, but I'm blowing up his spot. Now he's drafting. He won't know. But he refused to sit at the same table with me at breakfast. So he had to sit. He sat at the table.
He had to physically restrain himself.
Now he sat at the table next to me so we could keep talking. But he said he was banned from sharing my table, and it was not for COVID social distancing purposes, but rather because he was not allowed to fiend.
And by fiend, what do you mean by that?
You know, I guess just like shoot the shit, hang out, talk about Dota. He
do a little rumor mongering.
Exactly. You know, who sucks, who's good, who's gonna win. The only information I got was that LGD was incredibly strong.
5 seconds remain.
And that's how commonplace that info is, because I didn't get a peep about anything else. I told him if he didn't give me anything, I would make up fake quotes and then use them on stream. But he said. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We don't make things up as casters. That would be
it's
wrong,
against,
Kyle.
It's against the rules. You can't just make things up and just say them on the internet.
Yeah, who would do that?
Yeah.
Who would do that? Evil Geniuses open with a Monkey King. The response from IG, a combo play. Phoenix Mars, very similar to the Snapfire that we saw from last series. This is just kind of one of those classic Mars combos. And Evil Geniuses actually draft Lycan into it, which is a little curious because I feel like good against Phoenix, yes, but isn't the Mars arena kind of a problem for Lycan?
Yeah. And you brought up, I think, earlier the Echo Saber Deso build, the idea that it could be a carry Lycan. That would be more effective, but I feel like, as we discussed, you kind of need to go that HOD style.
Yep.
Phoenix as well, unlike Tombstone, any sort of summon attacks, minion attacks, creep attacks don't count on the egg.
Right.
So Lycan, not really a BKB buyer. You tank a Spirit, and you're now ineffective at scrambling the omelet, and that can be concerning.
10 seconds
IG, I
remaining.
love this kind of lineup. We'll see if they go this route. I've seen nobody pick TA yet.
5 seconds
I actually
remaining.
love TA against both of these heroes. And you want to have something that just... okay, never mind. TA is just not good against Monkey King. We saw that at TI. Weehaw was answered.
Yeah,
Why do
he
people
kinda
keep
was.
picking Monkey King against TA?
At the same time, this Monkey King is, when it's picked right now, we're assuming it's a support first.
True.
It could be rotated into a mid lane or something like that, but right now we're assuming this is going to be a crit Monkey King, right?
Invictus Gaming's
And
turn to
this
ban.
Lycan,
that's a
we're
great
assuming is going to be Ice's hero, but
Yeah.
again, open to interpretation based off of how the rest of the draft goes. Maybe EG will provide a bit of a swerve for us, but they haven't really needed a whole lot of swerves in the past, right? That's just not EG
10
overall. They're
seconds
they're
remaining.
a very stable team, very laning focused, right? It's kind
5
of like their
seconds
biggest
remaining.
moniker when it comes to Dota is just like win lanes, win game.
Yeah, at least have the ability to do so.
Yeah.
And always try to be in control of your win conditions. I really enjoy the bans for that reason. When you think about what's great against both these heroes, we've seen Troll used successfully. I think Naga Siren is going to be a sleeper pick in this tournament, and it's very good against Lycan, always has been
Invictus
historically.
Gaming's turn to pick.
You know, this is sorry, a little side, but I can't get this out of my head. You know, I was watching the LGD documentary about TI8 recently, and you know, maybe actually said that even when they lost to OG 2-1 in the upper bracket finals, the whole team was still convinced that it was either going to be them,
10
LGD, or
seconds
Evil
remaining.
Geniuses who were going to end up winning TI.
Really?
Yeah, even though they
5
just
seconds
lost to
remaining.
OG, they were convinced, okay, we lost to ourselves, we made our mistakes. We're still better than OG, and so is Evil Geniuses. And obviously that proved out
Damn.
not to be true at all, because then they lost again in a best of 5.
To be fair, I can see their point. I think you can make an argument, and most of the community did, that TI8 was a fluke. And if you think about the way that some of those matches were won, you know, the shaker dunk onto Ame to prevent the throne in that critical game 3 in the upper bracket, the comeback with like the Arc Warden, the PL illusions, like
Yes,
OG.
yes.
You could make arguments that like PSG LGD was more mechanically gifted in that tournament, but OG had that creativity. You
Yeah,
know, they
you
were
replay-
abstract artists.
You replay all of those comebacks from OG, and you just like
5 seconds
give it like,
remaining.
okay, have a redo. Like, OG's probably not going to make that same win, right?
Yeah.
But what they've done so well at is putting pressure. The one word they kept using was tenacity, which is really cool. But this is IG versus Evil Geniuses. Sorry, that was just a little bit of a side that I couldn't get out of my head, just because it referenced EG. Lena picked up for IG.
Oh yeah.
Invictus
To be fair,
Gaming's
that
turn
OGG,
to
remember
back.
Sumel was like 23, 24 kills. Remember that? He's 23-0 tiny. They end up losing that game. Like
Yeah.
those are all 2-1s, 3-2s. Like that was a very very tight series. Or was that TI9? I don't even remember anymore.
10
It's been a while.
seconds
Either way,
remaining.
EG, one of the few teams I expected to continue picking Puck even
5
after the
seconds
nerfs.
remaining.
Can be Crit Zero, can be Abed. So I think this is really cute where you're going to have that ability to swap it around, right? Where this could very easily be the Monkey mid or the Puck mid. Really depends on the matchup that you see. Lena, of course, could be support. I think more likely is mid, but when you see Puck, you probably don't want that anymore, and it might be more likely now that it turns into your 4 position.
Yeah, and we could say, okay, we're going to go ahead and have a 5 Phoenix for Lena with the Mars. That feels really good. Anyway, that's a very strong lane. And then they pick still against Templar Assassin. So if they get baited into like, oh, we're going to pick TA against Puck, then you put Monkey King mid or something. Winter Wyvern is the choice, which means Arlena is definitely mid now.
Yeah, I mean, I just love TI, man. I can't tell you how cool it is, just the casual vibes. You know, $40 million in the prize pool, but
10
you
seconds
still got certain
remaining.
players. Like I can't. Sumail last night, just drinking his tea,
5 seconds
hanging
remaining.
out, chatting about anything but Dota.
Invictus
And,
Gaming's turn to ban.
Just so much, so many games, such a high level.
I
wish
feel like
the
I'd be
event went longer.
hyperventilating in my room the entire time. Oh shit! Tomorrow I'm gonna be playing for $40 million.
Because group stage, like, it's so much Dota, right? And it's cool
Yeah.
because
10
you also
seconds
see,
remaining.
in a way, if you think about the season, the actual
5
seasons
seconds remaining.
were really long with
Uh-huh.
limited games played, right? One series a week.
Yep.
Evil
Then you go to the
geniuses
major and you're
turn
playing
to
like
ban.
30 games in 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
TI, it's the reverse, where your group stage is grueling. But then when you get to the bracket stage, there's only one day where any team would possibly play twice on the same day. So you
Right.
have that ability to prep, to watch demos of the team you're going up against, study the
10
replays, the ward
seconds
spots,
remaining.
etc. Group stage is just, you got no time to think, to
5
tilt. You got to
seconds
grind.
remaining.
You got games to play. 6 games a day means a lot of
Gaming's
drafts
turn
and
to ban.
a lot of decisions to be made.
Maybe that's all important where your support staff comes in, right?
Yeah.
And like your coaches and analysts being able to help you out, prepare for the next series when, you finish up one, maybe you eat or something, and you've got to get ready right away for
Yeah.
the next one.
It makes me always look back on my career and think how things could have been different had maybe I'd been a bit wiser. I'm sure that would have probably helped. I could have been a better player and a better leader and really just a better person as well. But that's let's not focus on that. Let's think
Yeah.
about how could other people have done better. Answer: should have had a coach. Should probably had like a mental coach, because then as the captain, Fly can just kind of hang out with Bulba, right? There's staff to take care of the players, make sure everybody's doing okay. This is a staple of EG when it comes to TI. The Ursa, quite early on, adequate at killing the Phoenix Egg, almost certainly the carry, which means it is likely a crit 4, I want to say, puck
Yep.
mid like an
10
off.
seconds
But
remaining.
Ursa also has that ability to jump onto the back line of the Wyvern, plus
5
the
seconds remaining.
ultimate and the shard with the enrage after your Q. Very effective because you just run at the Lina. You get this
Yeah.
defusal and you eat Mars alive in the laning phase as well. It's just quite nice against all these high stuns.
It feels like, again, something that is a bit focused on laning,
Mm-hmm.
which see what IG last pick here. What's the carry that actually solves this for IG? They're gonna go for the Magnus.
Okay.
Okay. We've seen Mag being shuffled around a little bit lately, whether it's going to be carry. We've seen some off lane, even some mid still.
I'm not sold on this. It's not my favorite hero against Ursa for the same reason. I'm not a huge fan of like the Lina or the Mars because you get really high burst, but you're gonna have a tough time keeping him stunned if you catch him with ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a natural just BKB buyer. Like, doesn't really give you the best Roche timing. It feels in a way like the old meta, all these huge ultimates, Egg, Arena, Curse,
Right.
RP. Whereas EG, they're a very elusive lineup. Maybe you take a big team fight as 3 in one area of the map, while Ice is just killing your racks.
Yeah. I will say one upside, though, for Fly, who formerly known as GGG, for any Dota players who, again, haven't been necessarily following the scene for a long time. They've got the matchup against Lycan, right? They've got a laning phase answer to Lycan, and that's kind of important, right?
It is, but that's where the Monkey King, I think, changes things a bit because I like the hero a lot as this support simply because you're so damn strong in the laning phase, plus the vision advantage that you provide. So just an
Okay.
early Orb of Venom, you're going to hit Fly in the face.
Counter to that, though, they've got Phoenix on the other side.
True.
Which every single time he's getting Fire Spirited, then the Monkey King, he doesn't have spells to actually do anything. He's always just a right-click presence in laning phase.
Yeah, but the thing about it is when your 4 is significantly stronger than the enemy 5, and you're laning with a hero like, say, a Lycan,
Mm-hmm.
you're coming out ahead because there's now no pressure onto your enemy. You're off lane, and you can get that HOD rush through without losing too much EV in your laning phase. You don't have to do any creep shenanigans. You're just going to lane, and you're going to be okay. So
Yeah.
I think there's an argument like both ways, but we'll see how it plays out.
That's I honestly love that part of Dota, right? Where you can always look at things. I traditionally have seen certain matchups one way, and then I'll talk to a pro player a certain way, and does do is Dream Coil is just really along disable. DK naturally puts himself forward to hit towers, and Coil's a great way to catch that hero, hold him there, and get mass rotations from your team. And I never thought about Puck being able to quote-unquote counter DK because traditional logic just says that it's just so DK just shits all over Puck.
Yep, but you can still, juke his stun when he's in DK form. Witchblade, natural counter pick because of the massive amount of magical damage. Like, it's just a cool game. Like, there's never really a scenario. There's a couple of exceptions. There was these really cool tier lists made by some guy about like, hey, what heroes are like S tier of you need to buy BKB against them. How hard are heroes countered by break, right? So Spectre, you can't play into Viper, but you can buy a BKB, right? There's always a way to deal with something, and I think it's another reason we don't see as many upsets, just because itemization and general experience and game understanding is playing a much bigger role than typical in how you can win and what the win conditions are, and in general, just more balance in the game. We see it. Routinely it's like 9-7, 8-5, but one team has a huge advantage that has nothing to do with kills.
Yeah, and the part of that is that the veteran players have so much experience in the knowledge aspect is because Dota goes in cycles, and one of the things that is currently on a cycle is we're back to Monkey King support.
And not just that, we have a tri-lane top.
Yeah. They are going to start off this lane very early on, getting aggressive onto JT, starting to rack up the stacks here. They're going to Nightmare JT, get a long pounce on him so it does the maximum amount effect, and see if they can slow him down. It's not going to be enough to get the kill, though. JT is just going to be kind of forced away.
I'm actually surprised that Fly went for the sleep there. I was like, I thought that, wow, that's a cool defensive sleep, but no. I guess 2v2, and Arteezy farms the wave.
And because it's Phoenix Mag, which is supposed to deal with Lycan in a way, Mag is supposed to specifically be able to deal with the Wolves, all right, and farming them. It's not, they don't have offensive pressure to really kick Ice out of lane. Phoenix is not good at doing that.
And this is something I remember Keizu abusing way back in the MOBA before this one, where you just block camps with your Wolves. So in a way, because I think that Flyfly didn't recognize the game state, he went in power level 1 and just started pushing the wave. And Ice is now pulling creeps with Wolves. And he didn't block the easy camp. That's unfortunate. But he was trying to keep both camps blocked, almost did so successfully. And that's just so annoying. Like, even if you're getting zoned, like, you're fine because there's no way to ever regain lane control.
They're going to bring Ollie up here and try and turn this fight. JT is now able to get one more hit onto Fly, and it is just barely enough to get the kill. First blood for Ollie.
They've got Spear. Not going to use it. Man, this is a little troubling for EG. Ursa is a great
Kyle, a little bit of fun on yourself so I don't have to do it. Bane is going to be caught by the spear, and perhaps a
Easy's build a little bit here, Cap. Like 0-1-2. If there were a lane, I think, to get a couple bonus points in Earthshock, I feel like this would.
On crit, slowing him down, hits the boundless strike after the 4 Jingu stacks. That's enough.
That's huge.
Big kill onto the carry. But I feel like this year is the best performance I've seen.
Certainly been a rock. I think just by far the most consistent on the squad. I think our team might be good.
Yeah. That got a spear back, and Fly actually getting slowed down by the last little hit there from Kaka. He takes a lot of damage on his way out as well.
But those ganks were perfect, right? Around the 4-minute rune to find Emo. Then he goes bottom. You didn't see, but the courier for Fly was there. He'd only had the Glove of Haste, had full treads and tangos just there as he died. If he's 20 seconds later, there's no way that's a kill, and Ice's HFD is going to be delivered. But now he's actually equalized this bottom lane for his squad. Unfortunately, Abed's going to be dewarded immediately. It's a pre-sentry placed. Oh. A little bit of a miscue there. Will he get the rune?
6-minute rune. They already had Abed threw the orb up to top, and then they already had crit on the other side. So protecting those runes, despite 3 being mid for IG, Abed barely able to get away before that stun came in.
And they've perhaps over-rotated a little bit. Like JT, he's still a Mars against Ursa. Yeah, you did pretty well killing off Arteezy, but you can't just leave him here 1 versus 2 against a Bane Ursa. There's not much he's going to be able to do to touch creeps if this wave goes back a bit. Love the warning from IG. They're just full vision of this Bane running through the river. Double high ground vision in this critical top lane. Makes sense, you know, if 6 heroes are up there, might as well invest your vision.
Money to burn.
One of the downsides of rotating your supports this much and being this active would be losing out on stacks, which they'll lose out on the 7-minute stack, but if they can kill Ice or at least force the shapeshift out of him, that's going to be okay, but they may not get out alive. Pounce down is going to be able to finish off Ollie. Now that they've got the coil onto 2, they have to be careful of the RP from the Magnus, but it looks like Mag doesn't have any damage anymore. Behind him, bring down 2 evil geniuses with a heavy rotation down to bottom. Very nice. JT tries to do what he can to pressure our team.
As well, but just a sick coil to ensure the kill on the Mag. I'm sure Ice is saying all me. I've seen him do that quite a bit.
Nice. Really good, in fact, to be able to catch Abed.
So close to level 6 on the Wyvern, and maybe that gets turned around. Abed's playing quite well. He had that nice avoid death middle, does another there with a phase shift that has to land, right? If he catches a spear, he's dead. And now Fly take the ancient stick. Ooh, unfortunately misses that one bonus. The tiny dragons, they're so annoying. They never do what they're told.
Yeah. Either way, this should be able to get Fly's Echo Saber, plus a little bit more on top of that. Kind of need our supports to get some more levels. Ollie is still shy of being able to have Supernova, and Kaka also needs Winter's Curse. So only one of them can get it from the Tome here. Looks like it's going to be to the Phoenix. Maybe they'll give some solo experience to Kaka mid. Once they have that, I'm kind of expecting them to try and take a team fight with all these big spells that they've got going.
Yeah, and the other thing that they've got going for them, if you check out the net worth, is that IG, in theory, should be able to farm faster than their counterparts on the Dire side. Because EG, they have a diffusal rush on their Ursa,
Right.
whereas, of course, the Magnus built-in Battle Fury, basically. So,
Ollie, he's going to try and bail out Emo here with the potential egg, but it looks like Emo's just going to die. Now Ollie has kind of committed himself and can't get out, so that's going to be just the support throwing himself in to die alongside Emo.
what was Emo doing up there? I guess just sort of lulled into a false sense of security thanks to the wards, but Abed, once again, right place, right time.
The weird part was that EG, it seemed like they kind of knew that Ollie was going to be, or Emo was going to be making that play. You see how Abed just camped that hard camp? He was just sitting there in the trees next to the hard camp, knowing that the Lina was going to come up there.
One of the best Michael players in Dota. Setting up. Kaka.
All that StarCraft experience comes in handy for Ice.
He harassed him for almost 30 seconds with Wolves before that was set up. And a very aggressive build on the Wyvern. No points in the Cold Embrace.
Fly. Gonna be caught again by himself. This top lane seems to be a bit of a death trap for IG. They do force out the RP, and they will manage to get this kill onto Fly with the rest of IG rapidly rotating over, but Evil Geniuses are probably like, okay, that's space right there. We forced out an ultimate. We've got a bunch of heroes farming all over the map.
Yep. Again, the one thing about the Ursa, this diffusal timing is big. It's one of the more aggressive carry heroes that we see in the meta, and especially played by Arteezy. It's, there's no natural steroid. He's spamming overpower, but that's pretty much the only tool you have. And diffusal kind of forces you to get active. Will they be able to is the question. I think Emo, BKB will be the item of choice. And it will be a blink on Fly. Once those items are up, that's when IG gets a lot spookier, because suddenly there's really nothing you can do to control this Lina. Yeah, sure, you could get gripped by Fly, but you gotta figure IG's gonna gun for you onset of every fight.
Yeah.
Look at Ice just farming. He's microing his illusions, his wolves, and his creep as he just kind of runs in the trees within XP range.
My gratitude.
Guy's good at micro. Probably better than, most Dota 2 professional players. I know a number of them used to play StarCraft back in the day, but Ice was obviously the most successful of all of them.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And crit, I like, so he took that hard camp stack right in front of Arteezy.
I saw that.
That's the right move. He's rushing Orchid, and he's pretty close to it, just a recipe away now. That is really cool, because both enemy supports are primary targets for EG. They're lacking real initiation, especially since Abed is going for Witchblade, not Blink. However, what you are going to have as EG is vision. Orbs, wolves, creeps, Monkey King in the trees. So if you just hop forwards and get an Orchid stun off on one of the supports, just creeps and long-range pressure is enough to find kills. So really, really cool concept here. I think superior to the Mage Slayer, because what EG needs is the ability to kill enemies. There's the diffusal. They want to be aggressive, and this item will help them do that quite a bit. Plus, it means you can spam your spells to farm faster with the easy mana regen.
I actually wanted to talk about it. I feel like that some of the more successful teams here have been showing two different things: a high priority in vision, and also scaling forward position. JT.
Talk about vision. Look at the
Spotted
puppies.
out by the Wolves. They're going to be able to go straight over the Fiend's Grip. Meanwhile, they stop Kaka. They silence him, stun him, so the Fiend's Grip lies entirely uninterrupted by Fly. What a beautiful RP, pulling him deeper into the tier 2 underneath the Supernova that's going to explode. They kill Abed. They bring down Crit as well. So IG, that was a beautiful initiation from Evil Geniuses. Like that was super cool. But IG still respond very well, and they get a 2-for-2 trade-off. That's probably better for them because they killed the mid lane.
And there you can see the danger with EG's win condition because they're trying to be aggressive. You can't really ask for better. They found the Mars, an immediate CC onto the Wyvern to prevent the curse, but there's still a Magnus to worry about.
Yeah.
There's still an egg. It's not as if you can just kill 2 heroes and win a fight. You need to somehow get control on 3 or 4. And a great blink reveal there from Fly. Cannot ask for more. They're going to smoke. There's a blink Yules on JT, still has Arena. And they're going to catch Fly with the scan, it looks like. No, sorry, that's a dire scan. They see him, though.
Running forward, should be able to get a skewer back. I don't know. I feel like they don't have the physical damage to Roche, right? All they have is mag, but they have no like minus armor or anything like that, right?
Yeah, I guess they'll just take the kill, get a little bit of a whip. Look at top. Great Orchid
plus the creep coming in. The Granite Golem may just give him enough damage to finish him off. No way.
The Orchid. By the way, check it. Check Crit.
Yeah.
Notice anything missing from his inventory?
No boots, baby. Who needs them? Orb of Corrosion, Orchid, and a Granite Golem.
Radiant's middle tower is
The
under
Golem
attack.
hits so hard when you combine it with the Orb of Corrosion from Crit.
He's playing like it's like Ice's hero. He's stunning, trying to save it, and Ice just dominates something else on the other side.
Yeah, he grabbed of all things a Harpy Stormcrafter. So look for some lightning spam to be coming up. It did free up RTZ to take that mid lane tower.
How
Radiant's
just
middle
such a
tower
cool
is under
concept
attack.
of utilizing.
Yeah.
And it's so annoying to deal with because if you think about EG's draft, you know, Bane, Puck,
Radiant's bottom
these heroes are so annoying when
Oh no! JT didn't actually have the spear up. Immediately gets silenced. Still, they're going to be able to find Crit. Big thing was making sure you didn't have any trees to jump around to.
So how do you deal with massive team fight? Well, you keep splitting the map and have many independent threats. Bane, Monkey King now, with just creeps, can find kills. Puck all over the map. Ursa also somewhat spooky. And Ice is exerting presence through just his creeps. So all this action, yeah, Crit goes down, but they will get tier 2 bottom. That's a 17.5-minute outpost. That is huge. And now they can put their attention around controlling the Roche pit.
You combine that, like, the other big thing against team fight is having better vision.
Yeah.
Right? The enemy team. You need to be able to see the movements that they're making so you don't get into a bad 5-on-5, or you know that the pickoff that you see is indeed a pickoff and not some sort of bait. And we're seeing these Lycan Wolves and the mobility of the Puck being utilized, the Helm of Overlord creep running around the map, and then there's Crit.
Yep, and things get spooky now. Emo, he has BKB, so IG, they're, if not at their timing, pretty damn close to it. They've warded around the Roche pit. You know what they want. They want this Roche, because one, EG are now set up to deal with it because they have that bot outpost, so map control should be theirs. But again, the team fight. They want 5-on-5s. They don't want to have to deal with this damn Monkey King in the trees, wondering whether or not there's wolves scouting them out. But EG, they're aware, and they want to contest.
Taking away an Aegis from an Ursa team is always feels pretty good, but Winter's Curse is going to be used. It's not going to last very long, though. He's going to be caught inside the arena, blown up immediately. The curse sets up into so many other disables. Crit tries to go for the kill onto the Winter Wyvern. The Supernova Explosion catches him, and Ice to the wrong side. Supernova Explosion into the RP. Now he's tanky enough to survive through that. The coil is going to make sure that they can actually still stay onto Emo. They're using the creeps to try and batter down Emo bit by bit. Not quite enough just yet. Emo still around. Fly actually just going for the Nightmare. Fiend's Grip. Double stun though out from Emo. But now Evil Genius says hello, goodbye. Oh, cold embrace to be able to save Emo again from Ice, and now with no wolf form.
Oh, the
he
fire,
may
the
just
fire.
be run down. Oh, the wolves. Can they catch up? I don't care about Ice. I want to see if Emo dies. It looks like he's fast enough, though. He's got a slight movement speed advantage on these wolves. Ice did eventually die, as no wolf form means no escape.
What a fight. So, Egg, a lot of abilities. The ability to destroy trees was removed.
Yep.
But when you pop Egg, it just destroys trees in the area. That stunned crit.
Yep.
Then Arteezy just got everything thrown at him, so he dies. But they lost crit too, so, you know, if Egg doesn't go off, Ollie's probably just orchided. This fight could be completely different, but instead, it's IG with a decisive victory. But good lord, Ice is still top net worth. His creeps are doing so much damage. The drum charges are nuts with these creeps.
I want to see that last fight again because Arteezy never got up in enrage. And I feel like that should have been a shortened winner's curse because I thought Arteezy was by himself. So I'm surprised there wasn't a time where he could pop the enrage before he got chain stun.
Were there creeps nearby?
There might have been a Lycan Wolf. That's actually what I'm wondering, is if it was a longer winner's curse and there was because there was a wolf nearby. Or maybe the Helmet Overlord creep, I'm not sure.
Ice popped ulti already.
Okay. Well, if it doesn't show, they don't know, but they just walked underneath the ward, so they should.
Actually, that's the Ursa. We saw a Tiny with the wolf pack. Now you're going to have an Ursa that's just hasted around.
A wolf bear. I've been saying it ever since that shard came in. Ursa is the scariest hero to have that. Now, I feel like Tiny is actually the scariest now that I've seen it in action, but Ursa's still got to be insane. Found the strike.
Oh my God,
see if they can take away this. Emo's going to preemptively pop the BKB off it, jumped in, but he did not get the Aegis. He also did not get the last hit on the Roshan. IG, they pop BKB in Supernova to secure it, but they did get it.
I was waiting for a question mark. They hit him with the pause instead. They hit him with the pause. Oh, man. Talk about subverting expectations.
Do you think that Evil Geniuses have IG pre-muted? They're like,
I'm wondering if I have them pre-muted. Okay, no, we're good.
We'll never get question marked again.
Keep it PMA, keep it BSJ.
Hey, there it is. Keep it PMA. Thank you, Crit. Beautiful.
I wonder how much he paid Crit to spam his voice line.
I'm sorry.
What?
Did you just accuse BSJ of paying... Did you just accuse anybody of paying a pro player to spam your voice line? Sumail?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. Ice. Caught out, very dead. The rest of the Evil Geniuses are going to leave him behind. If you don't know what I'm referencing, nobody's spamming Kyle's lines, but Sumail is so aggressively spamming them. Okay, yeah, sure.
We're both fans of old classic movies.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be some sort of back alley deal going on. Just because...
It doesn't have to be for most people, but with you, I feel like that.
That's a great line. I love how EG, they're playing with only 3 pairs of boots. And I bet that will continue. I don't think either Monkey nor Lycan will be picking some up anytime soon.
I always love heat maps, and this is impossible, but I would love a heat map that just shows how much time, or a stat, how much time Crit is spent in the trees versus being on the ground. Because this man has really just not... Okay, there is the heat map of Crit. You can tell. Yeah, he's in the trees, and he's been 2 areas the entire game.
Yeah, and the one time he ventured out towards the left of that secondary heat map, he ended up just dying when his trees were destroyed, so probably wants to avoid that area from now on.
Big gank going on.
Ice goes down.
Yeah, now he's just going to have to
focus.
Okay, the up-ed died real fast. Was that Hunt? Did he have a... Was he full HP when he got RP'd?
It was the Orchid, I think. Orchid Orchid from range into Blink RP just to guarantee and confirm the kill.
Okay, I just looked over and all of a sudden he just popped instantly, so I was a little bit concerned for Evil Geniuses and how much damage Fly's putting out, but he doesn't have a crit or anything just yet. BKB, Orchid.
I don't know. I feel like, Crit and Ice have been putting in work. I am waiting to see when the bear becomes the wolf, because Arteezy has been very quiet. The defusal timing, not really utilized. He dies in that one fight without getting off in range. Now with BKB, But, you know, if you look at the net worth, you can see the IG lineup.
Oh, Fly. They also apparently took a look at the heat map and said, Crit's been here an awful lot.
What did he just, like, skewer through?
He literally just blind skewered through that line of trees. I don't think he necessarily knew exactly where Crit was, but he was like, I'm going to just barrel through this line. And sure enough, he was there. Yeah.
They're doing a good job on IG, just kind of sticking together, right? Because EG, they're hunting corners. They're trying to play sides right now. And, you know, the one downside of Bane as a hero, team fights, not great. Camping a lane and picking off a solo hero, fantastic, but nobody's falling for it.
Do you feel like part of a way of dealing with that is forcing them to split up more, and that's through threatening objectives? I haven't seen Ice be the one bottom lane and like using his Helma Overlord to hit the tier 3. Why not?
Maybe just it's tough. You're playing against a bots hero. There's the Wyvern Mag. Like, there's so many heroes that can just be camping and killing you off as you try to do that. I want to bring up, really just love TI for this. You just don't see so much thought going into the item decisions. As you see on screen, Kaka is going for Aghanims, right?
Really?
If he can keep his Q active at all times, you're finding the monkey kill. You're getting that clear vision as you zoom around. It also becomes much harder for EG to find you.
Emo. Oh, that Ursa is scary when he's a wolf. They're going to quickly turn around, deal with the Supernova, the Winner's Curse, the RP as well, and the egg explodes! Now the arena going down with the spear on through. It actually does manage to catch Abed, and Fly finishes him, but Arteezy is still a bit of a wolf, and he is chomping through some supports right now. Fly, how did he get himself into the back line? Fiend's gripping up Ollie, does manage to get that kill. Ice and Arteezy are still at it, though. They managed to win that fight despite the combination thrown out by IG, and they're going to be able to catch a fourth hero here as we're going to say goodbye to JT. Evil Geniuses win that fight. It did cost them a buyback on Abed, though. So that wasn't just a 1-for-4, that was a 2-for-4 with a buyback from EG.
Yeah, a bit of a miscue there. They overlapped, you know. They have to panic. They have to protect the egg, but the curse and then the RP immediately after means RP squandered no damage output. The arena then somewhat ineffective, and this is the danger. This is a Drums like, and he's hitting towers very hard.
Yeah, and they might just be able to get melee and range for this, as there's no buyback from Delina. One of the more credible threats. You're not even going to worry about the range, though. Take the melee, play it safe, back it up, and just play the map now. Looking at Abed, yeah, he recognizes double Orchid. Okay, time to go for a Neon Disc.
Yeah, I'm actually quite surprised. Like, they went double Shadowblade on IG. They have the Silver Edge complete on Lina, and there's naked Shadowblade on Fluffy, but it's a bit concerning. Like, I feel like a plate mail would have really helped Emo in this fight. He's just getting hit in the face.
Yeah.
What? Okay, I thought he had died through Cold Embrace, but no, he didn't. Kaka had died off before he could assist. And yeah, I just really feel like some more survivability could have been useful, because really, what are you canceling? Like, what is making the Silver Edge so effective? I know it's just more damage with the new change to the recipe, and of course the crit aspect, but you know, Shiva's is just so good here, if nothing else for the clear vision.
Yeah. No, I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
He's going to go AC.
Okay,
so
that works too.
Similar
Okay.
line of thought, the way you're talking about. Okay, they definitely know there's high ground vision there. Fly. Does manage to escape with his life, though.
Thing is, I feel like you want both, because Shiva's is really nice against creep heroes because of the attack speed slowing aura.
Fly does not actually get the skewer back, and he's still in trouble here. They've shown several heroes up there in the top lane. Fly actually giving up his life to make sure that the rest of the team cannot be there to help out Fly. The Supernova is enough to be able to bring them back, and they actually do kill the Helm of the Overlord creep. That is important because it's a good amount of experience and it's 250 gold.
That was very risky for IG there if EG were able to fully dive. They didn't know this, but JT had no teleport top. It was still on cooldown. So if they fully dove there, it would have been at worst a 5-on-4. Crit, they have nice wards. They know he has no BKB. Oh my god. He didn't Quelling Blade. I thought for sure he circled it. I thought for sure he was going to cut it down.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get there before, you know, Crit can move, and which he did. He was on top of the tree. Man, one of those things, you know, where you're just like, it Fly's probably sitting there going like, Fly rather. Don't want to get the two confused. Fly's probably sitting there going like, I should have trusted my gut. I knew he was there. And at this point, a pickoff on Monkey King is a lot. He's now got BKB. He's going to be working towards a basher. Again, he's turning into a full-out core, which is something that IG will not have quite the same luxury. Winter Wyvern with the Aghanim Scepter does like some consistent damage, but I feel like it's, as you were saying, a little bit more utility focus, right? Kanka wants to just be able to play on top of cliffs and trees and get the right positioning for Cold Embraces and Winter's Curses.
Dire are scanning.
It's going to be really nice here. It's also just for the dot damage, right? It's going to get removed a bunch by Arteezy, but he'll always be able to keep it up if he keeps auto-attacking.
Yeah. Slow, unfortunately, not doing too much against this Wolf Bite.
They're just double ulting. They know something's coming.
Wolf Bite.
Oh.
How much does IG know about that situation? Smoke breaks, they throw out a spear. Long since dodged already by Abed.
I really like what Abed's itemized for the Witchblade, the Blink. You need the Aeon Disc because he's died so many times to these combos, and he's going Deso next with the Phase Shift attack. So even more reason IG have to invest in these armor items. It's the reason I vote Shiva is just so that Fly can buy the AC, because you need all of this armor to be successful. But this is great because they know that the wolves are on cooldown, so you go right into the pig.
Evil Geniuses, any chance of them taking this fight? The smoke's gonna break. Abed dropping still Talisman while he's preparing to try and intercept some couriers. No dive at the Aegis though. That's gonna go over to Arlena. They get the shard to Fly, so watch out for that horn toss. A really nice disable to potentially catch Abed.
I love games like this, so tense.
Yeah.
This was the matchup. And I looked at the schedule and just thought to myself, this is the drama, right? Both of these teams, specifically EG, I think, with a bit of a chip on their shoulder.
All right, surely. Okay, Mindbreaker now for Fly. He was still holding on to the broom handle until 30 seconds ago.
Broom handle's pretty good though.
It is pretty good, and it gives you armor.
Yes.
That's kind of what has been the name of the game here. Crit, as you could see, is going to have to play a lot more careful as they're throwing out spears and skewers around, trying to catch him out. He's going to scout these heroes, immediately jump away. They're not looking for a fight. Not into this Aegis. They'll leave behind Fly, who's not nearly as mobile as everybody else. Literally, his whole team can move across the map super fast, and Fly's just left alone.
Yeah, this is a rough bait game at this point.
Yeah.
I think your big thing to look for here is potentially sleep saves, where you get that full second of invulnerability, could potentially, juke RP for all you know, right? Disrupt this combo from IG.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a tough game. Ice is closing in on his AC. Looks like, okay, Emo's going to finish his. That's a big help to his squad, and really him personally most of all.
Yeah. Should be able to get it with the death of this tower.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And with another 3 minutes left on the Aegis, they'll feel comfortable still being offensive without a buyback. Evil Genius is playing the side of the map. They caught him! Crit inside of the Winter's Curse with a creep next to him, so that's a long Winter's Curse. They're going to be able to just 100-0 crit, no problem. Evil Geniuses were around the corner here, but not in enough numbers and not feeling confident enough to try and take that fight.
Crit isn't, I think, just too important to their team fight. The Wukong's just the damage output, and as soon as he's caught like that and you just see the teleports run in, knowing that there's an Aegis on the enemy team, it's real tough to feel confident trying to re-engage. And you've seen the way that they've wanted to fight, right? Where they're pre-packing, double wolfing, and running forwards. So you kind of need those spells cast already to then charge forward. If you're doing it reactively, well, IG just have plenty of time to set up, and you really have to catch them off guard to disrupt the combo if you really want to take a team fight. Emo, of course, has the Aegis, 2 more minutes, so...
That applies to so many of the heroes, right? Wukong's command is the same way, right?
Yep.
You want to be able to have that out as the initiation happens. And I would say the same works for Bane, right? You want your team to be starting fights, you don't want to be on the defensive as Bane. You're not going to get off a good Fiend's Grip if that's happening. Maybe at best you get a good Nightmare save, which we've kind of talked about as potential big play for Fly. Orchid, Horn Toss, skewer back into the rest of the team. The Eontis does go off, but they can still catch him with the Yule Scepter Dispel. Nice sleep. That's going to prevent the Spear catching him as he comes down a phase blink away. Will help him survive. And now, Evil Geniuses, I think they were kind of thinking about it. They're like, okay, they went for the double wolf form, but they still have this extra life to contend with.
Abed facing the right way. Quick cast blink. All the cool kids use quick cast. Everybody, make sure your blink is bound to it if you have any sort of invulnerability into blink away spell. Ice doing a nice job. He was trying to push out bottom with just his creeps, and now IG, they're on the defensive.
Yeah, look how fast they move, trying to chase down these heroes because they know the Lina had to TP bottom to get away. Blink out. Kaka still on the run. Abed does have coil if he wants to try for it, a little bit blind. He's got a gem, so if Fly gets close, they'll see.
And Ursa, resident Ursa expert BSJ. What do you buy against Ursa? That's right, a Yules, because Overpower is dispellable, and it is not affected by status resistance.
Yeah.
You are always up in the air the same amount of time.
Yep. And that just means a serious amount of that enrage is taken away. 4,000 net worth lead for IG. It feels like a pretty dead even game, though win probability backing IG a bit. And that's probably just because what we were talking about earlier on, right? Lycan is going to fall off eventually. Ursa's going to fall off eventually.
Here they come, ready to rock.
They've got their precast ultimates. They're going to jump in. Where's Curse laid onto the Monkey King immediately. He's going to be stunned for a long time, but Arteezy able to get on top of Fly and almost demolishes him in an instant. They do have the Golden Brace, though, to be able to get out. They're going to be able to bring down Ollie, and now Ice is staying on top of Emo, trying to get the kill onto Fly. Does manage to turn around, spear out. Ice is in some trouble right now. JT trying to protect Emo, though. They have the Supernova out. They're going to try and deal with the egg as quick as possible. The RP! It came in. Yule Scepter, awkward timing there, but they can still catch him on the outside with the spear into the trees. That is the dead carry of Evil Geniuses, and now they're going to get run over in this team fight. A horn toss backwards. Ice isn't going anywhere. Once they lose a fight, they lose some of their mobility. It's just cleanup time. IG holding strong in this mid lane gone, but it doesn't seem to matter. It's IG winning team fight after team fight. It's feeling like it's going further and further in their favor.
Yeah, but huge buybacks. Like, shout out to Fly. Played near flawlessly. The grip confirms the kill on Ollie. Had sleep saves to keep Crit alive that little bit longer to ensure the BKB could come out. But these heroes just buy back. Emo survives, pumping in the damage. Again, I just don't really see Arteezy's damage within the fight. He's stuck to
the Golden Brace for so long, but he killed Fly, which I didn't actually realize because I was looking at Ice on the left-hand side. So that fight was actually pretty good for EG because now they have a win condition.
Always seems to be good. And then Fly, you know, buys back, finds crit. Arteezy just stunned to death.
Yeah, even within Rage, it feels like there's so many stuns. IG are getting a lot, though, during this death timer from both Ice as well as Arteezy. They're going to be able to get the mid lane, so things are evened out. They even got the tier 3 at top. They're going to get the outpost on their way back. IG still got to be feeling good about this game, but they do have to be careful. If they lose Fly in a team fight, they take just the wrong engagement, that could straight up just be maybe the end of the game. So they got to be disciplined, I would say.
Very much so. Especially, you know, with the buybacks on CD. This is that critical part of the game where things have broken down a bit, and suddenly EG approaches this, you know, maybe not thinking, how do we take the perfect fight, but now you overemphasize trying to get kills on these heroes down buybacks. Love the sheepstick now picked up on the Mars. Just JT looking to confirm that you don't need damage. You have a Lina who is huge and a Magnus. You just need control.
Yeah, I mean, even this Basher on Emo. Have we talked about that? It's not typically a ranged item because, for those of you guys who don't know, it does much less percentage, 10% chance to bash on ranged heroes. But Lina, it's like she's a goddamn machine gun, right? She's throwing out shots.
Oh, wait, you have an Aghanim now on Arteezy, so we can remove RP from himself, much like the bad move.
Very nice. They're going to be able to get the sign, jump forward. There's silence as well. There's no chance of an RP unless a Nightmare save, but he gets Yules as well. They're going to buy back on Arteezy, but a Horn Toss is going to be able to pull Fly into the Supernova explosion. That was very pretty. Arteezy TP'd in, and they gave him the shapeshift, but there's no Roshan to take. There's no fight to take.
Just a little too cocky there. He had the Aghanims, right? He's thinking, okay, I can remove this combo.
Yep.
But really heads up, maybe just for the damage amp, right? Because it's now a completed Bloodthorn. Fly has the silence. You cannot remove that. It has to be the stuns only, so...
And Scythe also functions like a silence in that regard as well. You can't just enrage and take off the Hex. So that combination that they used to jump on Arteezy was great.
Yeah. And he, as you said, like, he has to buy back. Like, you're feeling it's that kind of time of the game. If he doesn't, then IG might just look to clean you up. But they're just getting the spells off. And I think that the Orchid Rush from Crit was ideal, but it's too late in the game now to think about 100 to 0ing a support if his team is surrounding him. Like, you're not really able to abuse the tree vision either. You see him kind of trying to, but it's much easier said than done this late into the game. His third Roche spawns in less than a minute. That'll likely be the source of our next huge conflict. Level 25 almost on Emo. Needs one more couple of creeps for some more attack range.
35 seconds until the next Roshan. That's going to be the one that pretty much decides the game here. Evil Geniuses, if they have a way back into this game, it's very likely winning this fight.
Yep.
And being able to collect the rewards from Roshan. And we'll see what they are very soon.
Okay, this is big. There's a DD on Abed, but more importantly, he's closing on the Aghanim Scepter. Really be a big pickup to control these BKB heroes. Because they have plenty of physical damage, but they just can't stick to anybody is the trouble. They smoke up. Roshan up 2 seconds.
Gonna make the smoke wrap and try and get themselves onto the triangle through the side. Oh, the TP in from the Lina. He gets stunned immediately. Feeds Gripped as well, and his allies are not nearby. And Ahmed is going in deeper. He says this is the moment to win the game. He catches Kaka. He's on top of the trees. They're gonna be able to get the Orchid. He's dead next. Look at Ahmed, keeping it going. Trees breaking, Supernova out. They're gonna be able to get the spear onto Crit, who may get burned out. The Supernova explodes just in time. Ahmed committed for it. He didn't get it. Now he's hexed, and now he's dead right alongside Crit. Instantly buys back, though. They know, again, this is the fight to win the game. They need this Roshan.
Emo bought a Basher. He does not have buyback, and that's what EG responds to. They figure, you know, if he has buyback, he's gonna certainly use it. He doesn't, so now you do. Crit didn't BKB. That's why he goes down. He still has the Wukong, so they save all these abilities to be playing for the buybacks. They now get Aegis, who takes it. Okay, Arteezy. Refresher goes to Abed, and he's now just a point booster away from Aghanims. But wow, what a setup. They smoke away from IG. Emo just very confident, maybe even arrogant, TPing right into the wave.
Yeah.
No buyback. He has a Basher.
That was something else from Emo, that's for sure. And look at the rewards being reaped now. They've got Cheese for Crit. They've got Aegis for Arteezy, as you said, Refresher Shard for Abed's Puck, who, damn, like, that man knew Emo's dead, this is our chance, and he just went in.
And now he's got Aghanims. This is huge. 3 BKBs on the enemy team.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Now you can perhaps do that exact same thing again. Who cares about the BKB? Just find Emo. Once again, the game somewhat equalized. If you can check out buyback statuses, there are 2 players with it available. It is your Bane and your Mars. Emo would have it, but he needs a lot of gold to get there.
This is why win probability is such a weird thing this part of the game. And even before, when a buyback was used by Fly, it's like, you may lose 9 out of 10 team fights right now, but if you just win the 1 out of 10, that's it. Like, you just start the right team fight for yourself, and you've won the game. And that can apply to both these teams right now with, as you said, very few buybacks coming around. There is going to be a lot on the way for IG, especially if they can give Emo the gold he desperately needs, and then 30 seconds for the rest.
It's also...
Radiant's top
I'm really
tower
surprised
is under attack.
Arteezy hasn't bought a shard, by the way. I know it was nerfed ever so slightly, but...
Yeah.
Still, I guess you don't get the cooldown reduction, but either way, it just seems real strong in a game against so many stuns.
I guess in many ways, it does look like he has just being constantly chain stunned. When he dies, it's 100-0.
That's true, and he needed you want the Abyssal. You want that offensive power.
Yeah.
Credit to Ice though. I feel like him and Crit really have kept their squad in the game. Now with the Sheep Stick, the Scythe, the Vice, those of you who have not played Dota for as long as we have. The scan comes out, they know what's going on. The pre-wolf once again.
At helm of the Overlord, feels like it's just a regular lane creep at this point against IG. They just tear it apart whenever it shows up.
The shapeshift talent really helps because now your even your ally Grant shapeshift is longer because of the talents. 34 seconds of Arteezy just running around in wolf form, and I don't know if you can, but I cannot tell if he enrages when he's a wolf.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's always kind of weird sometimes when whenever Ursa changes form. Even some cosmetics make it a little hard to see, but this wolf form,
Please,
that's gonna
Cap.
be a little weird.
Cosmetics do not grant any sort of of competitive advantage.
You're right. How could I forget
Heretic.
myself? I apologize, Kyle. I
See,
apologize, of course, to you, the viewer.
Okay, we've got 3 level 25s on IG.
Yep.
How many of these are huge, though? A little bit more damage for the Empower. That's quite nice. Attack range for Lina. That's not bad. I think that the Rebuke crit would be a lot more impactful for JT if he had any damage items whatsoever.
He's got Yules and Scythe. There's not a whole lot of strength stats he's rocking right now.
I almost feel like the Arena of Blood giving the team regen could have been better, but it's a lot of crit. Like it's a lot more damage. So
yeah, you know, if that keeps a Winter Wyvern alive long enough to get off a spell, or a hero that gets Cold in the Brace is also inside of the arena, you know, like. I could kind of see the reasoning there. But if you want to scale later into the game, right?
Hang on. Crit, he sees JT. There's a little bit of information they can discuss. There's
we got him! He jumped outside of the arena, but one of the trees outside of the arena, it has a little bit of an AoE to
it. The puppy paws backfires. Oh, no. And he has no buyback. They know that for a fact. 100 seconds of a power play.
They do know that, but Evil Geniuses don't necessarily seem like they're backing down too much. They don't have Ice here, which makes it a little weird. They're going to try and bail out Fly, but I feel like Abed's just focused on getting himself out, and he can't.
Oh my god, he has no buyback.
He traded his life for Fly.
Oh no.
That is the wrong kind of sacrifice.
Fly had buyback, Cap. You know the 2 heroes that don't have buyback, they're both dead.
Oh no.
IG.
Oh, Arteezy. He tried to go for a cheeky little pickoff onto Emo, but he runs headlong into Fly with a BKB, and they still have a chance to be able to do it. The Winter's Curse bouncing back onto the Winter Wyvern. They're holding this Arteezy, trying to stop him from being able to kill Emo, and I think they've got enough. He does have wolf form still. Can he get away somehow? He does have the Aegis, so the second life, but without this mobility, I think he's just toast. I think he's just going to die again, no problem. Maybe the Phoenix dies in the back lines, but let's see. Arteezy jumping onto Emo, but he's getting bashed up. Horn toss, dragged around, tossed around like a ragdoll. He just cannot stick onto a single hero and will die. 2 minutes, no buyback, because he will not have the gold, even in 15 seconds. Now Fly's dead as well. Evil Geniuses, they've fallen apart, Kyle. This was not a normal situation.
No, they question mark themselves, Cap. The pause into, like, I mean, you have a right if you're crit. That would be a little frustrating. But, like, he himself paused. Yeah. And JT just too quick with the fingers. Ice is trying. He's trying to pull the creeps to try and preserve his base for just a little bit longer.
Yeah, they're like, on IG's side, they know that Arteezy could have buyback right now because of the timer, but we know he doesn't have it because of gold. And eventually IG is going to make that realization if they keep up this pressure. If they do not back down from this, they're going to realize what's going on here. Abed up in 5 seconds, and this is going to be the true test for IG. Horn toss backwards. They're going to be able to catch Ice here. He is in wolf form, so he's a little hard to be able to lock down, but a final stun, a spear through the trees. No! JT, he thought he had that on lock. Ice is able to get away. It may not matter, though. If they can still keep this going, 5 against 4, a cheese on crit.
They've double coiled.
Crit jumping in, Coil. They do have the Wukongs coming in
no
from the side, but
BKB.
the Monkey King just got demolished. It didn't last very long. Another Coil going out, but as long as they stay still, it's not going to do anything. The double Coil
But
doesn't
Ice-
do a damn thing,
Stop
but
it.
Ice
He
is
cut the
dragging
wave.
away. He's got backdoor protection up for a second here. They're going to have to all in this building
Can they do this?
against backdoor protection. 15 seconds till the Ursa's back up. Even when he is back up, he won't have a whole lot of allies.
The waves are dead. Can they do this?
They're doing it.
They're doing it.
2,400 HP. It's down to half health now. Ursa's going to be
Team.
up in time to be able to take a fight here. Throw out the arena, throw out the supernova, all in for this building, jump to the other side of the arena and bring it down. Game 1 goes to IG. This series, at least this game, is not disappointing, Kyle.
Wow.
Man,
Man.
Dota's a sick game. Ooh.
That is hype as fuck. That is awesome. That is what we hope for. Like, woo! Okay.
Good shit. Good shit. This is day 1, by the way, of the International 10. If you are watching this and you're like,
God
I
damn.
don't really watch like a whole lot of Dota. Let me check out the International. Let me see what this is about. This is what TI is about.
Oh, yeah.
Dota is such a fantastic fucking game that you can have
Woo!
these kind of moments every single day. And we're going to keep having that. This is just game 1 of Evil Geniuses versus IG. We are going to go to a break, and then we're going to finish up the last game of the day on this stream. A rematch of the Singapore Major Finals certainly did not disappoint for Game 1, which IG did manage to pull out the victory by backdooring the throne. That is actually how that game ended. Really good stuff, and hopefully we're going to get more of it going into Game 2. Any takeaways from that game, Kyle? Anything that you feel like... I mean, Evil Geniuses, they lost, and they were behind for probably the last 15 minutes of the game, even if it did come down to this crazy finish. But is there any takeaways that you think, like, okay, this is what EG needs to do better?
You know, it felt a little bit like I was tuning into Arteezy's stream, right? Because
Okay.
he was never there. And I don't want to say it was all his fault, okay? But I do feel like if you're going to give the man Ursa,
Yeah.
like, what was the space for? You know, Ice and Crit are doing everything they possibly can.
Yeah.
Why is it an Ursa then?
Yeah.
You know, why isn't this something that, you know, if this is a Slark even, I feel like this game's much easier for EG to inevitably win. But really, you know, some critical mistakes. Crit, I believe, died in 3 consecutive team fights without using BKB.
Yeah.
The tri-lane, like, breaking down, like, it might be a bit of draft, but it just felt like, to your point, you know, why didn't EG try to threaten the throne or threaten tier 3 bottom? You know, it felt like they were making good plays. They were extending the game, but for what?
They were just kind of accepting the space that was there and
Yes.
being like, we're farming, we're feeling good.
And
Do you think any of that has to do with the relative newness? Sorry, brain's not working right now. It's late. This concept of the Lycan Axe is relatively new, right?
Yes.
And you're probably not going to have a ton of experience with it, specifically with certain hero combos, right? Like, how many times have they actually run Lycan
I would
Ursa?
hope a few times.
A few times, yeah, but you may not know exactly, like, how strong you are going later into the game.
I would agree to an extent, but
Okay.
I think, I mean, Lycan Axe has been third item in, like, every game that we've seen.
Sure.
So it's certainly something that's been fleshed out, like, pre-TI. Maybe a bit is just, you know, I just can't, like, no shard to end the game on the Ursa. It's very weird to me when you're playing against so many stuns. Like, that is insane status resist. You catch an RP, the egg, Alina stun, like, it's suddenly, like, not even there.
Yeah.
And yeah, just we talked about this, I think, like a couple days ago. We were talking about, you know, storylines and trying to talk to everybody about different teams they might not have watched as much. And the big criticism, obviously there was a lot of conversation about EG. Everybody's got an opinion on EG. Was about how they don't, like, go for the jugular. Like, they get a lead and stagnate, right? Like, there's they don't win. They just kind of get ahead and, like, get further ahead. But there's no sense that, you know, if you watch OG play, you watch PSG LGD play like we did earlier in our previous series, they got a lead, they got everything they needed, and they went and won the game.
Right.
And it took them 4 minutes, and they had gotten megas. Like, that is that killer instinct that I do feel at times EG is lacking. So maybe they have an edge in this game as we enter the next draft. We shall see. They certainly didn't seem like they were the inferior team. Just felt like IG, you know, they needed to win fewer fights. Like, even Emo throwing his life away with no buyback. Like, that's a perfect example. You got the Lina kill for free.
Yeah.
And yet you can't get anything out of it. Like, that hurts.
Do you
That
think
really
some of that
hurts.
is the way Evil Geniuses have
10
kind of
seconds
modeled
remaining.
themselves for the last, I don't know, it's been like, what, 5 years at this point? That it feels like they have a very specific play style that they've kept consistently throughout. I've got this crit from, quote, Evil Geniuses, we play more like Chinese teams than European teams. We like being a stable team that have a system in place. The structure of the Chinese teams is quite strong, and that is something EG draws inspiration from. Do you feel like that kind of speaks to what you're talking about, of, like, getting ahead, getting further ahead, and then just waiting for your opponent to, like, get desperate and make a mistake walking into you?
Yeah, I totally agree. End of the day, if you want to win TI, you got to play to win. You got to take chances. You got to make moves when they're a high percentage play, but not necessarily guaranteed. And I will say though, a little bit is just maybe hubris. I'm not even sure. Like I said, Crit played phenomenally, but like that last engagement, if you recall, like he got the Wukong, so he didn't beat KB, so he just died. And if they can keep Throne alive for just 5 more seconds, you know, maybe you're going to be able to reset and get another shot at a 5-on-5. But either way, IG, they're going to stick with the Phoenix. I think conceptually, just a really nice hero against the Monkey King. You brought up the points about the landing phase, but even within the game, right, Wukongs don't hit egg. So
yeah. And egg hit trees.
yes,
Monkey
very
feel
good
bad.
point.
And they're going to go for the other hero that is really good at breaking trees, Mars, with
Indeed.
the arena, which apparently kills trees not just inside of the arena, but also slightly outside.
And they're
of
both
it.
like the egg specifically just instant. It's like, oh hey, I see Monkey King, boom, egg.
Yeah.
He's
10
stunned.
seconds
Like there's
remaining.
no time to react even for poor Crit, and
5 seconds
we shall see.
remaining.
I would prefer not to see another Bane. I feel like Fly has stepped up so far from what I've seen in this tournament, but he does lean a lot on these lane dominators, you know, the Bane Undying that just don't seem to have too much game impact later on. Like he had some great sleeps, he got a grip off here and there, but playing that hero 40 minutes plus
10
feels
seconds
terrible.
remaining.
Yeah. Do you think
5
some of that is, I
seconds
mean, like
remaining.
Fly very traditionally was known for like these save heroes, right?
Mhm.
Like back in the day, he was
Invictus
playing 5
Gaming's
Dazzle
turn
all the
to
time.
ban.
I'm not sure when the last time Dazzle was meta as a support.
Evil
I think
Genius's
it's actually an
turn
offlane
to
right now,
ban.
but that's a difference.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that is true. But that goes to my point, right? When was
Mhm.
the last time that hero was actually seen as a support? I haven't seen any Oracle yet this tournament,
Yeah.
right? It's like, so I feel like Fly goes one or two ways, right? It's like lane dominator or saving,
Yeah.
healing support type hero.
It just
10
feels like it
seconds
doesn't that hero
remaining.
doesn't do enough. Like
Yeah.
they're all way too single target. You think about what a Phoenix gives
5
you.
seconds
AoE egg.
remaining.
Spirits on everyone. Sunray healing your entire team.
Invictus
Sunray
Gaming's
during
turn
egg.
to
Sunray
ban.
after egg. Whereas Oracle's just very limited in comparison.
To add to that point, okay, seriously though, when was the last time Dazzle support was a thing? How many years ago would you guess?
4, 5. Like it was when OG still had
10
Miracle and
seconds
were winning
remaining.
majors.
Okay, so probably like
It's TS7.
actually a majority
5
of Fly's
seconds
time
remaining.
in Dota 2,
Mhm.
Dazzle support has actually not been a thing meta-wise.
Mhm.
It's still his most played hero.
Really?
Yeah.
We played a lot in Fnatic.
Yeah,
and
he played a
on
lot
OG.
in Fnatic. It was Dazzle all day, every day.
Evil Genius's turn to ban.
Tidehunter is the swerve from Evil Geniuses. So you said you did not want to see another Bane. They actually pick up Ice Ice Ice's hero early here, which means we're not going to be seeing Lycan. Any thoughts on this Tide pickup?
10 seconds
'Cause
remaining.
doesn't like Phoenix do pretty decent
Yeah,
against
because
Tide?
we
Is
talked
the-
about it, I
5
think,
seconds
our
remaining.
first series where they slowed the Ravage in terms of its reaching its full radius, but it's now longer.
Yeah, it reaches out farther, but it's slower to get there.
Maybe just recognize, like, hey guys, let's just have some team fight. Like,
Yeah.
I could see a Naga Siren coming out later on just for the huge combination, and I do think that that would benefit EG a bit. Like, a little too much required from like their playmaking. It could also just be an Abed Tide for all we know.
Yeah. Any chance of support Tidehunter? That was seen a bit. Is it
Invictus
Tundra?
Gaming's
Fada?
turn
Was
to ban.
Fada playing it at some point in time?
Yeah.
I feel like somewhere mid-season this last year it was being played a bit. Any chance of that coming back or no?
I think it's possible. I think Fly would do it. He's done it as 5 before, and he played it a bunch when he was offlaning for Secret.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're picking it
10
first two, it
seconds
kind of
remaining.
has to be because it's quite easy to pick a carry that has an incredible
5
time up
seconds
against you.
remaining.
So I think you need that lane versatility. But
I actually don't see the Ravage change on this change log.
I might
Am
have
I
made
insane?
it up. No, did I make
No,
it up?
I made it up.
You made it up. Oh,
I made it up. This
Cap
would be
was
my
wrong.
bad. I swear to God,
I
this
trusted
happened.
you. You're never just wrong like that or making stuff up.
Oh, okay, this was super long ago. 707.
707? What is-
Jesus. Radius increased from 1,025 to 1,250, but they reduced the travel speed by 50. At least
When
I
was
wasn't wrong.
707? Is that,
At least I wasn't wrong.
So you scrolling, getting
Invictus
more and more
gaming
nervous.
system.
I know. I was like, where's the change?
Yeah,
Jesus.
I like these bands, the Juggernaut and the Terrorblade specifically. I really just think tweaking Arteezy's hero in the last game, and I don't want to. It's not like Arteezy's fault by any means. It's just that hero specifically, the way the
10
game was
seconds
played out.
remaining.
When Ursa has your lowest skill participation, you would have probably preferred a
5
hero that could have
seconds
just
remaining.
simply got more gold out of
Sure.
the time spent in the jungle.
What? Okay, I get that, but like, aren't Phoenix Mars good against Terrorblade? Like, Arena blocks out the shots of the
Evil
Terrorblade.
geniuses
TV
turn
does so much
to
damage a hit. You don't want to hit Egg, but you have to.
Just a BKB buyer, and
Okay.
perhaps just what they fear most from EG. I really like this Disruptor, talking about an answer to Tide. Very
Oh,
good
yeah.
against him in laning phase and throughout
10
the game.
seconds remaining.
And one of my favorite support to play nowadays. You're so good in lane after the change to
5
the Q.
seconds remaining.
Later on, you can get a shard, but more importantly, you have this insane team fight. Now, what do you have? The best catch in Dota 2. So you can blow a bunch of ults for one kill
Evil
and trust that the Glimpse
geniuses
will catch
turn to
one more. And
victory.
look at you.
I mean, I wasn't calling for an Oracle, to be fair. I wasn't saying pick Oracle, e.g. But okay, I'll take it. Okay, so if they're like, okay, we need disables against
10
Tidehunter.
seconds
Typically,
remaining.
AoE persisting silences are best. Static Storm being the best example of that.
5 seconds remaining.
Oracle can now actually ensure that Tidehunter doesn't
Invictus gaming
die and can
turn
still have a chance of getting off
Strong
Ravage,
spirit.
which is kind of an interesting concept, or even just giving him magic immunity with Fate's Edict. It goes a long way.
I like this a lot for EG. Hit him with the Storm Spirit. You have an Oracle behind you. Storm and Slark, my two favorite heroes with
10
Oracle, because
seconds
you
remaining.
can just ensure their survival. They can go deep. He can find these
5
supports. That was the
seconds
big
remaining.
issue that last game. EG, they could, surprise the Phoenix or the Wyvern, but late
Yeah.
in the game, they had to run at them. And yeah, you could run fast, but it's not enough. And now you have that long reach. Plus, I mean, if you recall that 5-game series in Singapore, Abed played one hero in 5 games, and it was Storm Spirit.
Yes. Yes, indeed. And they're going to go back to it. Apparently, Faith not shaken just yet. What about the Storm God himself? Emo no longer is able to pick Storm Spirit.
Playing into Tide, yeah, a BKB hero probably ideal.
Evil geniuses
Speaking of
turn to
TA.
bat.
Templar Assassin.
Got him.
Traps to provide vision. Good matchup against Storm.
Yep.
Very
yep.
good against Tide, Oracle. Really, all of these heroes, you don't have much at all to burn through Refraction. It's a decent Aghanims game, but you could also just buy BKB. It's also coming
10
online fast. It
seconds
accelerates
remaining.
the pace of the game, which Storm doesn't really like too much. Roche dies faster.
5 seconds
Map is
remaining.
taken. Just makes sense. And I really love this TI because it doesn't feel like there's any heroes that are just straight up broken, with the exception of maybe Tiny. Everything is just good. It's all about matchups, timings. How do we play this?
So that just leaves at this point Fly's hero, and he normally known for some harder carries. Some of his more aggressively played heroes: Juggernaut, which is already banned; Wraith King, which he has a very good win rate on. But I've only seen one Wraith King so far, and I think that was
Invictus
actually
Gaming's
IG
turn to
losing to
bat.
Undying. I think. There's 4 games going on all times, guys, so it's a little bit hard for us
Yeah.
to keep up with everything. But
EG giveaway. This is, I mean, it was kind of obvious it was Tide off lane, I suppose, but it is Tide off lane. They ban Ursa.
Yeah.
IG know this now, and you ban illusion heroes. You already got rid of
10
Terrorblade. I
seconds
think
remaining.
PL.
Naga
Yeah, PL and Naga Siren, exactly.
Okay. I feel like Naga
5
Siren was
seconds
a big
remaining.
winner as time has gone on in this patch, because if stacking is going to be less meta, that means
Evil
heroes that
geniuses
take
turn
larger
to
parts of the
ban.
map become better and better,
Yes.
right? Because it's like Naga Siren's advantage is I'm going to farm 2 lanes at once. Sven's advantage is I'm going to farm 10 Ancients at once.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, and I mean, PL's just got to go. It has got to go. One of the worst
10
heroes for
seconds
Disruptor to play
remaining.
against, because Doppel dodges Glimpse.
Yeah.
It's
5
just
seconds
unplayable. So
remaining.
annoying. And yeah, sure, you can ulti and catch him, but easier said
Well,
than done.
Disruptor against Naga Siren is actually very good, right? Because Glimpse can outrange Song.
True, but you can also disjoint the glimpse with a well-timed mirror image.
True, but like, ultimately,
And-
what is it Naga Siren wants to do?
Sure.
Song
TP.
reset
I'll give you
TP
that.
out.
I've also, because I've played a lot of Disruptor recently, it is absolutely nuts to me, but
Invictus
I don't
Gaming's
recall who it
turn
was.
to
It was
ban.
Eurus or some incredibly good player. He was Manta dodging glimpse. Like, easily. To the point where if he had Manta up, I couldn't glimpse him. Like, 4 in a row. So, I don't know if that's something that is just easy for people, or if he got
10
lucky, or
seconds
what,
remaining.
but Manta heroes against Disruptor seem quite
5
nice as well.
seconds remaining.
Yeah.
I like the Slark ban too. This is a hero I think is underpicked right now. Like really underrated. I think the itemization, everyone's buying Echo Saber and Shadowblade, and no one's picking Slark. Like it just doesn't seem right to me.
Also, his shard is crazy good.
It's so good.
It's so broken. I don't
unbelievably
understand.
broken. It is. It saves people through black hole. Like what?
Yeah.
What even is that?
It's
Evil
bonkers.
geniuses turn
Ooh,
to
they
bonkers,
leave
bonkers,
Naga Siren. They
bonkers.
get rid of Disrupt. Oh, okay. Spectre is quite annoying. You know, it's also the EG special. You pop Haunt, and Storm gets Pure Vision, and you go.
Yeah.
Very tough to play the support duo and do it. And you maybe feel confident. You do have last pick after all, and Naga Siren is good, but you do have
10
answers
seconds
plus
remaining.
last pick, so it wouldn't be the end of the world.
5
What if
seconds
not that though? What
remaining.
is it for RTZ?
Some sort of hero that is
Troll?
able to deal with Templar Assassin, Troll, fast attack speed. Kind of scary though, because you do nothing against the egg. The arena is a really good kiting mechanism against him
true.
as well.
Keeps running into
Invictus
the
The
white.
Saints
Hit
Coast
is
Kinetic
done.
Field. I'm not. No, I don't think this is a troll game. I'm looking at these first three heroes, and I'm just saying I
Yeah.
think he has a hard time in team fights.
Well, it is Oracle Troll, to
True.
be fair.
Yeah,
This
that's
is the
true.
OG special, where
Yeah.
you just keep your troll alive forever.
10
And he will just
seconds
BKB
remaining.
and smash through people. One of the few heroes that is very good at
5
going toe-to-toe
seconds remaining.
against the TA, and Razor was also banned out previously.
You're gonna get Morphling
select
on
your
top of the Templar Assassin. Well, I mean, I was talking about Fly's heroes and expecting a more aggressive hero because they have TA. So I was like, okay, you don't want to double down too much, but they go with Fly Classic Morphling. 93 games, 20 this season.
It's a lot. And a very greedy draft, for sure. But, at a point, you will have the Scotty timing, and you can kite troll quite well. Very annoying playing Oracle against Morph as well, because you just get E-Blade comboed.
Yeah. E-Blade's good at being able to help people against the troll. You can really dumpster Tidehunter. It depends on the lane matchup, though, which I think they're fine with because it's Disruptor versus Monkey King. So Ollie should be able to have a pretty decent impact in this lane. And you can't reliably deal with Thunderstrike with Kraken Shell either. Like early on, it's 600 damage threshold. It's like maybe you'll get lucky, and it'll go away on the first hit, like the third Thunderstrike in lane. But all right. So who do you like? I didn't actually get that.
I'm kind of vibing with EG this game.
Okay.
It really depends on, I think, the mid matchup. TA slightly favored, but Storm can certainly do well. Actually, I take that back. Storm kind of, look at our Abed's build. You just go for this fast bottle and push the wave.
Yeah.
And you're also, a 6 armor hero, so the idea of being able to go like meld level 1 just doesn't work, because you have too much armor on Storm for that to be effective.
Yeah. Good luck. Have fun. That is pretty funny. The fact that evil geniuses don't wish you luck. They just say have fun.
Well,
And
yeah.
so emo only offers luck but no fun.
Well,
He is really the antithesis to evil geniuses.
yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh,
It seems to be the full meta right now is everybody just stacking onto the mid lane with all 4 heroes.
This
30
match really
seconds
doesn't
to
feel
battle.
like day 1 group stage. This feels like upper bracket.
I mean, I would not be surprised if these two teams did end up matching up against each other in the upper bracket. As both of them have off to a pretty decent start, there is still a lot of games to go. And we have seen, most notably, like TI8 OG is probably one of the better examples. Like, there are plenty of times, EG is a constant example, actually, where teams will not do very well on the first 1 or 2 days of group stage. They'll learn, they'll adapt, and then they hit playoffs running. Right?
And just to fill in like some cool results. Beast Coast 2-0ing Secret.
Oh!
Undying just took a game off Aster. OG over on stream 2. This crazy comeback against OG. Our match ended and we could hear Owen like across, like 4 rooms down screaming his head off. And once again, EG aggro tri-lane. Although I like this one a bit more. You're going to morph Disruptor. These heroes, Disruptor hates tri-lanes, loves being in a 2-on-2.
Yeah. So that leaves our matchup. Ice 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 is 1 against 2 against Mars and Kaka's Phoenix. So we'll probably see something similar to the series ago where Phoenix gets level 2 and maybe rotates out. Because, again, I don't know how much you're really going to be able to kick Ice out of lane here, especially as he brings himself extra regen.
Interesting from Fly. So I played with Ame. He starts with 2 circlets instead of 2 slippers because you actually get more agility out of it because you're morphing. So 2 strength, 2 agi being better than 3 agi. Fly, different philosophy.
Well, that's you're saying like overall stats wise, right? But if you were to morph purely all of your base strength into agility, this would still be more damage this way, right?
No.
Is it, well, because it's bonus, right? You're only taking your base strength and morphing it into agility. Right? Am I crazy here?
Doesn't.
So I'm saying if he just morphs everything into agility and he just focuses, like, because ultimately it's a Tidehunter. This is going to be a CS war between the two. We'll see.
We'll test it.
How's our tri-lane doing? It's going well. Evil Geniuses, top CS, top 3, all across the board. It's not surprising Emo should win mid lane. His tri-lane does seem to be doing a bit of work, and that's why they're going to try and swap things up with Fly being bottom.
Yeah. But I will say this is just, I think, much more comfortable for EG, just based on, Storm over Puck. I'm happy for Abed, and Arteezy's on a carry. This is one of the bread and butters. See if Crit buys boots at all this game, though. Seems to be very against it. I've seen some Monkey Kings go boots first, whereas he prefers to keep them away from him the entire game.
Abed. Really getting punished by Emo, but he only has to deal with this so much longer. 3-minute bounty runes are going to be coming up, then 4-minute, another refill on the bottle. They're going to try and bait in Emo. Crit, rotated over, fed a salve to Abed. That'll kind of help things out a bit. JT, ooh, they actually killed Fly. And Kaka snuck behind. That was Crit's courier, though, so I thought maybe it was going to be Storm Spirits. Not the case.
Swipes the bounty. Quite nice indeed. Abed in some trouble, but here comes Fly. I died for you. Bottle refill.
Okay, that's fair. Anything to help Abed through this crucial period in the mid lane. Once he gets to level 5, though, then he just farms jungle until 6, right?
Yeah. But so far, so good. I mean, EG, if you check out the CS, right, they're effectively in 3 lanes, winning 2 of them. And JT just not really able to get much done. It's always very dead.
Yeah, throws down a kinetic field, didn't actually keep anybody out. And that'll even up the kill score a bit. Why do you think Evil Geniuses, because they've been doing this for a while now, right? It's probably been about half the season. Abed in some trouble again. The boundless strike from Crit is going to be able to bail out Abed once more. Why do you think they like aggro tri-lane so much?
I don't know, it's always been an EG thing. They've done that in the past in TI as well. I remember they used to do a bunch of like CM Earth Spirit. They'd pick heroes like Ursa, like Troll, and they'd start aggro, and then Crit would start moving. So,
Well, this
it is again, one of those ways to abuse an experience advantage, but IG not exactly a team that's new here.
No, certainly not, especially having some early success in the DPC. In fact, they ended up 5th all around in points with 1,100.
Yeah. Because it makes it's a different kind of Dota, right? The way lanes are played. If you 2-1-2, that's one kind of Dota. Tri-lane, suddenly things are weird. Do you contest? Do you dodge? Do you TP? Making the wrong decision, you just lose you a game.
Kaka. Not willing to just let Crit force out an Icarus dive from him. He's actually going to use it aggressively here because he's got the Disruptor on the way. Crit, if he were to turn around and fight, he'd surely die. Crit is wise enough to know something is afoot.
They might know that they had a ward. They had placed the sentry, but unfortunately just maybe 30 units away from catching the ward that's been placed mid by EG.
Yeah.
The sentry ward is very important. You know, TA hit 6, you want to be spamming traps.
For sure. Same thing for, like, Abed had his ET camp blocked out for the longest time, right? That's usually a big source of experience for mid laners in the current way that mid lane is played.
Yep. I like that. I mean, Ollie, you know, screw top. I'm just stacking. This is my job.
Yeah.
Already, will he get it? Will he get it? Yes, he does. That is now a quad ancient at 6 minutes. Impressive. Triple hard cannon as well.
One last hit, Kaka does fall, and they'll be able to get a refill on the bottle for Abed and Invisibility.
Quite nice, quite nice. Interesting, I typically have seen a lot of Storms going Soul Ring. Abed not making that choice. Rushing treads instead. He has his own double stack. It's quite nice. This is more, I think, Arteezy's speed, where he is free farming hard. 43-21, the Falcon Blade. And he's almost got this top tier 1 dead. I don't know if Kaka wants to show here. You can see Fly is waiting.
Stupendous.
JT.
They're actually going to rotate it here, and JT, they're really committing, and Crit's going to follow them in. This is going to be a 2 versus 3, granted, underneath their tower. But they may be in a bit of trouble here. Kaka holding on to that dive for as long as possible. Is going to pop it now because once he does that, there's no way out. He has no way to be able to cut down these trees, has no TP scroll, so he is just dead to Crit here. Did lay down a little bit of lane ward before he goes.
PMA, BSJ.
Look at Abed stealing some stacks. But do keep in mind, you know, the TA factor. A lot of creeps getting killed in the jungle, leaving his disruptor mid lane. Ollie, you know, taking it. He's like, I stacked for you, so you're going to give me some gold, and I'll take your XP mid. Everybody wins. But you can look at the net worth. You know, Arteezy is pretty far ahead. The Ancients will likely equalize this a little bit, but a good place to be. Troll does beat TA. Like, you are happy with this matchup.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
For sure, especially if Abed can deal with some of the backline heroes, which Storm Spirit is in a really good position to do, right? He gets an Orchid, he can kill Phoenix and Disruptor, no problem. 100-0, get out real quickly. He's going to jump over, grab the Disruptor here for a bit of damage, and has to be able to jump away from this double damage. Kinetic Field's going to make sure he's not going anywhere. Good kill for IG.
What a play by Ollie. Yeah, Abed might be a little tilted after that one. He just wanted to grab the DD. You don't want to give that away to a TA, but there's just a trap there. So that's a freebie. And Emo got the last hit, right? Indeed he did. Suddenly pulling and spitting distance of Arteezy. That's one of those things, you know? These things happen.
Yeah, that is a big reason why Dota 2 is a very mental game as well. Is that things are just going to happen that are sometimes almost out of your control, that you just kind of have to accept the circumstance. Abed will manage to get a bit of revenge against IG, killing Kaka and helping to invade the jungle where Arteezy is already farming away.
Nice. Ollie does do a service to his TA. He had left a very tiny dragon that was going to block spawn. He kills it off, but it will mean, of course, that there is -1 stack. And now the game kind of breaks down a little bit. Arteezy, he's not an ancient farmer, so he's just going to push top wave, control enemy jungle. He has 3 wards to protect him in his exploits, whereas Emo,
and Crit hanging around, which is basically a mobile ward.
Yeah, and Emo's just like, okay, well, it may have been nerfed, but I'm going to stick to my triangle.
And if you've got a Morphling who is not super free farming, but still doing all right, and TA is farming up in the triangle, I don't think you're too sad as IG and just trading right now. Kaka is going to get picked again here, as he's honestly just trying to get some information down, maybe do a little bit of dewarding, not being allowed to do anything though. Evil Geniuses with that patented just control of the map that they like so much.
But you know who's been quiet?
Radiant's middle tower is
Yeah?
under
He's
attack.
vibing. But Soul Rain, completely passive build, but that's his job here, is just keep this tower alive and make Fly sad. The watermelon,
Radiant are scanning.
well, pretty much being played like a watermelon. You just chill, just vibe, sit on the
Is that
table.
what a watermelon does?
Yeah. Do you even know how they grow in the ground?
What-
They just chill on. They literally just chill on the ground their whole lives.
Does that apply to any other fruits or vegetables?
Gourds.
Yeah. Pumpkin does indeed just chill on the ground. Yeah.
Dire's middle
You know, it's
tower
scientifically
is under
proven that
attack.
talking to plants helps them grow.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Speaking of growing, this net worth lead for EG will continue to expand as they get them in tower, but a big glimpse.
Pull back into the Static Storm. They're going to try and bring down the Tide Hunter, not let him cast any spells, and they do manage to do so, but it costs them their Phoenix, which Abed did manage to get the execution on and still has plenty mana to be able to jump away. So, can't do anything about that, can't do anything about their tower dying. IG will just have to hold that L.
Take the trade though. Does EG. You might lose a core, but you're gonna be okay with that. I'm surprised. Fly was not level 6. I think they gave the tome to crit instead, which surprises me.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Or he just took the tome and was still level 5 on Oracle. Or did they just not buy the tome? I don't know. Is there a way to check that?
I believe consumables are still. I don't believe you can still check them, but I could be wrong. I mean, we're showing it's still there. So
Radiant's
we'll
top
keep an
tower
eye.
is
This
under
is cool
attack.
though. Look at Emo with Blink first. You don't see this very often.
Uh-oh, crit. Pop away fast. No, you're not getting away anymore. You have been thunderstruck, my friend. That means you will not be able to jump away to the trees, and if you could, you'd be pulled back down by.
Oh, that was cool. He survived one hit because of Mischief, another because of Fairy Fire, and Fly almost backed away. Like, okay, he's definitely dead this time, but no. He will secure. And let's see here. No big developments. You know, this feels like kind of the new meta for Dota. It's, you make plays for objectives, otherwise you just vibe. But this Blink first on TA is big. I like this style. You know, the old build, like just Dragonlance, play like a hard carry, I just don't know if that succeeds anymore because you simply don't farm quite as much after the nerfs to Ancients. However,
Combined with the fact they have a Morphling as well, right? Like,
Exactly.
You want somebody to be active, surely.
yes, and Blink Deso allows you to do that. It helps you set up for Roche, and you can even, you know, blink forwards, find a glimpse, go find kills, and he'll be maxing out Meld now, it appears.
Radiant's bottom
I'm a big
tower
fan
is
of
under
whenever
attack.
people do this. Just cut down trees randomly.
Yeah.
That's what Fly just did. And what it means is that you get into the head of the Monkey King player.
Yep.
He's got to be aware that, like, you've got a Quelling Blade, and he'll just cut down trees randomly. He's going to get paranoid. Is he going to cut down my tree?
Yeah, I didn't see them do that too much in the previous game, so I'm glad to see that that little bit of adaptation. Because Crit certainly felt like he was able to play with too much confidence for the first 20 minutes or so.
Yeah. Then they started catching him non-stop. Still going to be going Deso second item, normal TA builds for the most part. It's just the fact that he went Blink Dagger, and they're not actually going to get active with it until they have a Deso, it seems like. What's with that?
I forgot Troll's brand new level 10 talent after the big shift.
Oh, yeah.
It
The
is
armor talent.
a lot. He gets plus 14 armor from maxed out Berserker Rage. That is, you know, Meld plus Deso just sort of nullified completely. Egg.
Traditional logic says that you go movement speed, right? Because most of the time you're just trying to run down heroes. But this game of Tide Hunter, Monkey King, or, you know, like, you've just got so much physical damage coming in. Sorry, I was listing wrong here. It was Templar Assassin.
I totally agree.
Solar Crest next item for crit, so this time around he's being a little bit more utility focused on his Monkey King. Rather
like
than
it.
What was a Diffuser Blade first, right, into Orchid?
Well, it's a different kind of game, right? You have more minus armor as well from your Tide, but you have a true like hyper carry in the Troll.
Good try. Good try, Ollie. I think they just caught him before the Invis stuck. I'm not sure if he was actually in that Sentry range or not, but either way, it was a cute little attempt at a TP way under the Invis of Shadow Amulet. These supports are not having a fun time, man. This is just 2 cores, potentially 3 on each side, just farming away, and supports occasionally getting picked off. Because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah, there's no map left.
look at the difference in the heat map for crit. You know, he still has an area that he's definitely holding, but he's playing a lot more all over the map as opposed to last game.
Yeah, Roche is going to be the big area where we see this game decided, and I think EG really just trying to make sure IG don't do it until they have BKB up on Troll and they can threaten to do it themselves or even just take a team fight. There is a Blink Deso on Emo. They are very strong. Max Meld.
Oh, nice
Whoa.
reveal of the Orchid there, killing Fly.
What? He was just farming bottom. Okay. That's a bold move. And right on top of a ward. Nice job there.
They're immediately going to respond, though, by trying to kill Ice. He gets on the Ravage just before the Static Storm, and now Arteezy is here. He's got the Maelstrom. They've got to be careful of this combo, though. The Supernova plus the Arena. They do not have the attack speed to be able to deal with that egg, so will stun everybody, allow IG to back up and reset.
Not bad. EG taking the initiative. They slightly eke out an edge now in the gold as well. But they're not going to be able to go for Roche. Their catch potential is quite strong. Nice Ravage there. If he doesn't get that off, I think Ice might just die in the Static Storm.
Yeah. Recognizing that Arteezy was close enough to be a threat off the last couple of half seconds off that Ravage stun. They are going to try and go for Roche on here. IG not moving to this side of the map at all. No Ravage on EG, but also no Arena Egg for IG. Do you think they just don't know about this, or they don't want a team fight meeting?
I don't think they know. Or if they do, they just don't mind. But look how low EG is. You would have thought they would consider contesting. No Oracle ult, no Ravage, to your point. But I mean, there is a Wukong, so it's not even skilled. There's Solar Crest. I don't know. This is where the Morphling, you know, you start to be a little concerned that, you know, if this was a hero that could be a little more offensive, like this TA of Emo has been enormous, but there's like no real drive, it feels, for this squad to make plays, to make things happen around the map. They'll push bot tier 2. Again, there's no big spells on EG, but they are going to smoke down here anyway.
Do you think Evil Geniuses, in order to win this game, will need to take that like go for the throat moment? Or are they going to have to be a bit aggressive? Oh! That was sick. I want to see that one again if we can. Kaka does still have the Supernova. He's going to be able to get it off. Grid forces it out, but as they come back, Ollie trying to hide away under the Arena. They're going for the Supernova, and they get it. Ever so barely. Abed turns around, but the Orchid on TA will not stop him a whole lot. He's going to be able to just blink to the side and then re-engage onto Ice here, who should be run down. No. Okay, that wasn't the spear you wanted, JT. Can they still get him? They can't. He's going to be able to blink away now.
Okay, so first off, nasty from Ollie to camp an Invis from the Shadow Amulet, and then just straight up slay Abed with the baited Arcane. JT, a really weird Arena. I think if the egg is in Arena, it just lives. He tried his best to absorb them with Bulwark, but not working there, primarily because Tidehunter, of course, is not a projectile, so all of his attacks landed.
See it again. You see he's just waiting here. They're like, Arcane Rune, you know a Storm Spirit wants that. Such a good bait from Ollie. Great call by him. And then the resulting team fight, very nice, because they blow through the Aegis. They may lose their Phoenix here, but they do manage to kill Abed again. They They should have brought down Ice, but JT,
Oh.
a little awkward. Wait, the spear shouldn't have gone to the... Never mind.
Who knows? We saw some really weird speed. Oh, hang on. Morphs in vision.
Trying to jump him. Static Storm laid out. That'll allow them to be able to back away. Not sure if they can go on this Tidehunter or not. Emo's going to have a poke here. They go for the spear. The Ravage going down almost immediately as the Kraken shell, but look at that fast blink from Emo. He leaves JT behind, but he did not get caught in that stud, and that means Evil Geniuses, they have to run. They only got the Mars for that. Jump forward from Kaka, but everybody else on Evil Geniuses, a lot of mobility to get in and out of these team fights, both game 1 and game 2.
And we didn't notice, but yeah, when that fight mid happened, Arteezy was just top. He just took tier 2. They've had outpost control. So the map, very split now. And it is so interesting just how accelerated, like, you know, it's 20 minutes in and we have tier 2s dead, outposts controlled. You know, the game is very much broke down into a be afraid, teams making big moves and looking to make huge advantage for themselves. Now the Dragonlance for Emo, Pike queued up, no BKB in sight. Very bold, playing into Ravage and Orchid and the axes that will most assuredly be spammed by Arteezy.
I just can't help thinking about that Blink Dagger choice. You know? Like, the way IG has played this, I almost feel like you should have just gone the traditional Dragonlance, Deso, BKB.
Yeah, I liked it a lot when I saw it, but to your point, like, they just haven't really done much. You're still feeling fine. Like, at the end, it's a slow game, and you have Morphling, so you're not unhappy.
No, certainly not. And again, like, doesn't that mean Evil Geniuses, at some point in time, they have to say, okay, we should try and force things a little bit more. We should try and take these fights because we have a BKB on our carry. They don't.
And that's where Troll really shines. You just run at the TA. I think Ollie specifically has just impressed. Like 0-3-5, but you know they only have 6 kills. He's set up almost all of them, but just the way he's played, like he's doing a lot with a little because he's not even really playing with anybody. Some of these times he's just straight up ulting people in the face, and that's their initiation.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Nice vision. They're going to try and control top. EG marching down lanes. They're going to force Glyph. Could consider threatening high ground here. As you said, they have a BKB. They have Wukongs. There's the Solar Crest.
IG, they're certainly going to be a few steps behind Evil Geniuses. They're trying to mirror the former team. But again, they're only just now hitting this tier 2, and Evil Geniuses can choose what they want to do. Do they want to rotate to the other side of the map, catch IG as they back away? Do they want to threaten high ground, as you were talking about? All options here.
You have Oracle, like this Troll will stay full HP, and you know there's no Glyph.
Yeah.
Although, he's very alone.
The only reason not to is because the glimpse, the arena locks him out a little bit. He's going to be forced to use his BKB, and Fly's going to be left behind. Arteezy, having popped the BKB already, needs to be able to get away with it. Turn around the Ravage, Wukong's command out, and the TA, and oh jeez, the Mars, they just stumble into a death trap there from Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, he had the BKB, not enough time. Ice, Ice, Ice. That is playing to win. My man, Ice. It feels like he's playing Lycan. He's the one making the moves. Now the Tidehunter, he sees the opportunity and pounces. That's the killer instinct I'm hoping to see from EG throughout this tournament. Very scary. Arteezy, I get pushing there. I like it, but you know, you're playing against like the Glimpse. If that spear latches, it doesn't. If that hits tower, he's just dead. And look at the rest of EG. Everybody's coming late. There's no crit. There's no Abed. They probably just watch Arteezy die twice, if so, but instead they do get the turnaround. JT, been a bit off. Missed a couple of big spears so far this game.
Look at this initiation. Kaka has done this twice now. That last fight, where you were talking about, if the spear lands, the troll would die because Kaka dives forward and yules the Oracle to stop him from getting off the false promise. Same thing he does here. He dives forward, catches the Storm Spirit for them to be able to lay down a Static Storm. That is, I've seen Yules on Phoenix as usually just a counter to Orchid. It's like, okay, I need an answer to a silence, but Kaka's showing how to be able to use this offensively really nicely.
Yeah, he's impressed, and I love watching the support plays, because, you know, 065 feels like a bad game, but to your point, you know, his impact has been critical, and if you can just have one of those assist speed on enemy storm.
This does not feel good. They get the pick off on Ollie, but at the same time, mid lane, Arteezy was forced into another round of BK because of the shotgun. Right?
He's already down to 6 seconds.
That, yeah. He's popped that many times already?
Dire's
Jeez.
top tower is under attack.
Yeah, Scotty the next choice. So that is going to be big, because then you can just try to man fight the Morphling, but it is a little concerning. E-Blade is very tough to deal with. It's the burst that, you know, it's hard to play around as an Oracle, because you have to think about your own life, as we've seen. You know, he might get Yules, he might get shotgunned. At the same time, you got to play close to Arteezy because he's at the same risk. Halberd now on Tide. They're just making a little noise. Sound the alarms, force some TPs. They do just that.
Rattle the sabers,
Dire are
as a
scanning.
good old boy of Dota 2 once said.
Crit.
They're gonna jump forward to manage to catch a nice Ravage onto 2, but Crit stuck inside the Static Storm is gonna die, and there was no damage to follow up Ice because the arena locked out Arteezy. Now they go for the Supernova. They're gonna try and focus it down real quick. They should be able to do so. You can see JT trying to pull the projectiles off. Not the case. Flyfly jumps in, does manage to kill Fly, but at the same time, Arteezy was given the false promise. That gives him back up to full health and enough to be able to kill JT, but a final spear on his dying breath locks down Arteezy and allows Flyfly and Emo to be able to get these kills and clean up potentially. Ice. Good read. Blinks into the enemy base to teleport out.
That was sick, though. That courier came out so quick. They knew there was a ward up there, so not a bad read by EG. Both teams, really. This is a slugfest, because there was a ward placed, I believe that was Ollie, on his own high ground to recover vision for that engagement. The courier zipped out, not just for the D ward, but it almost found Ice to get vision for a TP interrupt from the Morphling. 3 for 3. But wow, like, EG, you know, they learned, like, they have certainly stepped on the gas a bit. Not the greatest engagement, you know, they kind of just get caught, like, they catch themselves.
Yeah.
You see JT, he's doing what he can to keep the egg alive, but the melee heroes, of course, they can stick to the egg like glue. Oracle ult comes out a bit early, because Fly, I think, realized,
anyway.
like, I'm
Yeah.
dead, I'm standing in no man's land, let me just do what I can. But yeah, to your point, JT, dying breath, guaranteed, confirmed kill on the troll. And you see, the burst damage from not one but two pretty damn hard carries of IG is a huge threat to Arteezy if he's left alone like that.
How does Fly, or maybe how does his team protect Fly better? Like, what can they do to make it so he doesn't have to blow false promise on a troll at 80% HP?
I mean, they got to make first move, and they're doing that. They've got to be the ones jumping, because if you get caught, suddenly Fly will have to reveal himself, or he's the one being swiped. And you know, keep in mind, these fights, Egg is getting killed. If Egg gets off in one of these engagements, it is going to be curtains for EG. They just don't have that sustained damage. They need to find a couple of confirmed kills within the duration of the Ravage stun. It's easier said than done. Roche is up, Crit sees it. But the net worth, like, it's 2-on-1 it feels. And Abed later on certainly will be effective, but look at how many items he has queued up. You know, he needs both of them to really feel strong. The combination on top of the Ravage, but the BKB just so he can live. Right now, Disruptor.
They're gonna catch him. They knew he was hanging around here. I'm not sure if the TA trap actually saw him jumping from tree to tree. I think it might have been outside of vision. That might have just been intuition. Knowing that he would play there. Re-smoke up to be able to catch more. They're gonna be able to get the Tide Hunter now.
Oh, we got the disarm.
Disarm off. Is that enough for him to be able to live underneath the Supernova? He does actually get bailed out by the false promise. He's going to try and TP away, but he gets glimpsed back in. Nasty position. A lot of damage was done, but he was given the magic immunity to survive.
JT
So they still have the Ravage to contest this.
JT is a great Mars, but he really needs to land these spears. Like, that's another one he whiffs. Otherwise, it's, again, a guaranteed kill. Now they're going to go in.
Oh, trying to jump in, seeing
there.
if they can time it right for the Roshan going down. Now the Ravage goes down. Roshan still has a bit more HP, so they have to go kill on Flyfly. They've got him, maybe. No, the BKB. It goes off with the Glimmer Cape, and now Ice is committed, hoping to be able to take away the Aegis. On the ground, JT picks it up. That's not what they intended. Abed, a little bit of HP and a little bit of mana, is able to jump outside of Roshan pit while Arteezy is in, and Arteezy is dead. 60 seconds for him, and now the supports are going to be caught as well. Crit realizes it, throws out their Wukong's command just to survive, do some damage, but ultimately there is no threat there to IG. 5,000 net worth up in this game too, Kyle, and looking like they might just take a 2-0 against EG.
It's looking that way, Cap. Oh, it's so close. Again. Who is it? But Ollie. Look at that sentry ward outside of the Roche pit. It just barely doesn't see him, so he survives. BKB's whole fight turns around. Big Aegis pickup from JT, makes up for a few of those whiff spears. We're going to see this fight one more time. Like, Abed, he uses so much mana. They get the idea. Ice is going to have to feel like he jumps here, but, like, Abed isn't coordinated. They're not going in. If he goes right as that Ravage comes off, maybe it's a kill, but no. BKB, hard commit, a lot of confusion around the pit. Remember, there's no false promise. It was used earlier on the Tide, so now Arteezy's just in the middle of nowhere. Pops ult for damage, but it fades. He dies. Abed already used half mana just to even, peek and scout. It's just not enough. Go back to live action. They're pushing high ground.
And they manage to get a glimpse, kinetic field, and spear him deeper outside of the base. Same time, Abed goes for the quick execution onto Ollie. The Orchid, not quite enough to take him out. The Glimmer Cape, I think, is what keeps him alive again.
It's damn impressive so far, man. Ollie's just on fire.
He really is. And the double carries. I mean,
Yeah.
IG, I wasn't super sure about them drafting Morphling on top of Templar Assassin, but it certainly seems to be paying off really well against EG, right?
Yeah.
Where they just naturally have the better late game, and Evil Geniuses always seem content to keep farming.
Yep. I feel like maybe this is, I don't know. They've been so consistent all year, but it does feel like they take NA Dota to the international stage, where oftentimes they're just outclassing their opponents. TI gets a lot harder to do that. You need to be the team. I think it was, I don't remember who said it, but to be good, just try to not make mistakes. You don't have to really make plays until you're at a level of Dota that few teams can really aspire to. And it does feel like here at TI, you're going to need to be the ones making the moves if you want to walk away with more wins. Scotty, though, soon to be completed on our team. That's going to be big, but to your point, the double carry. Top net worths, IG looking very spooky and still in possession of the Aegis on JT. They know they're up there smoking towards.
Meld dispels.
Dire are scanning.
It's interesting. To get rid of minus armor, gosh.
Whirling axes.
Whirling Axe. Oh, okay, that's a really big one. You're right. Arena onto 2. Crit is able to jump away. Not caught at all. Ice. Very likely left to die here. Arteezy does manage to get a bash there on a Fly turning into the Monkey King to stay on top of Crit, and Crit taking damage from the tree as Fly perched up there in ranged form, ranged Morphling. Able to lay the damage, lay the waste to those below, trying to catch for more. JT not shy about searching. They feel pretty damn strong right now.
I mean, Ollie he has one job. He's glimpsing Tidehunter, and we saw, was it Thompson? No, Old 11, our first game of the day. Second item, BKB on the Tide. Feels like maybe Ice should have considered the same, because he is just consistently dying 100-0 in the Static Storm.
Yeah. No, he tries to do what he can, but there's only so much survivability items you can get to survive through, especially now, because he's got the +2 seconds Static Storm duration. You're just there forever.
Abed.
Long zip in, forces out the pre-egg here. That's enough for them to commit and take the melee barracks. Reset. Now, Evil Geniuses, I'm presuming, want to try and take a fight, but they still have 8 more seconds for Tidehunter, so not even really going to be able to punish that egg usage.
And they don't, if you're IG, you're very comfortable with this. Lose out on the Aegis, but JT has a completed sheep if he wants it. Abed's game just got harder. Check out Ollie. That's an Aghanim Scepter flying out. So all of a sudden, you're all just gonna die if you get caught in the Static Storm. EG, they want to do something now. Scotty finished all in on all their heroes. No, okay, Abed has buyback, but he'd love to finish a BKB before they get too aggressive.
I mean, do you get BKB? Almost feels like, especially once he sees the axe of the Disruptor, he may just have to go for like an all-in play of Aghanim Scepter.
Might be necessary.
Whoa, what I missed?
Just hope for a really sick Ravage. Follow that up with a big AoE Vortex and just let Arteezy do what he can. Arteezy's damage does feel lacking, though.
Yeah.
Scotty, Maelstrom.
Basher, yeah, it's like none of these items really scare you, right? Scotty's nice as a finisher when your damage is already overwhelming, but the Basher, Maelstrom, it just doesn't feel good to be the troll in this game. I think Fly, yeah, he is a Scotty of his own with the BKB to boot, so you don't. If he just gets BKB off, Morph doesn't die.
What a bounty!
He does go all in for the Aghanim Scepter.
I dig it.
So Abed, recognizing that this may be a rather dire scenario, and backs up against the wall. What does Dota Plus say? 10% chance for Evil Geniuses. Sounds about right to me. They're going to lead off the site. Onto the Troll. Static Storm as well. No save. Fly could not get off the False Promise in time, and that, Kyle, is 3 heroes dead with no buyback. Maybe a fourth. Fly's going to be pulled back by the Glimpse, and they're just going to run down the game. GG called. IG. A sick game one, but just a clean clinic of a game two by them as they managed to bring down EG. Again, grand finalist 2 times this season, brought down low by the Singapore Major Champs.
And just no redemption to be found. Like, well done, IG.
Yep.
That was just straight up outplay. I think the supports, from what I've seen, you know, Fly limited in both games primarily by the pick, right? He's playing Bane, he's playing Oracle. You can't really affect the game in this offensive way. Like, very single target based, whereas it feels like Kaka's Phoenix, like Ollie's Disruptor, like all the good things that happen in this game, it feels like they're getting things done.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a draft thing, if it's a play thing, but, you know, just, well, good stuff. Like, we forget, like, game one, incredibly hype. Game two, just maybe BKB on tide. I'm not even sure. It just felt like EG kind of fell over.
Yeah. I mean, it felt like in some ways this game was very slow.
Yeah.
For like 15, 20 minutes. And it was a Templar Assassin Morphling farming on one side and a Storm Troll farming on the other. I feel like I like having TA Morphling farming, free farming.
It's just like
more than the other two.
Like Bloodstone on Abed when you're playing into Disruptor and you have a Ravage. Like, it just doesn't seem like this EG draft. They even got the first Roche like for free, right? But what did we do with it?
Yeah.
What is like the general game plan? They get through the laning phase. They have this idea, but then it feels like 15, 20 minutes. It's just, okay, everybody slow down. The one big play they made was Ice making a big call on a Ravage, but even that was somewhat misguided because, as we discussed, if that spear hits Arteezy to tower, he's just dead in the enemy base as his 2 other cores are mid lane. So, you know, end of the day, some fantastic Dota. Definitely a lot to learn for a lot of these teams. I don't know. What are your big thoughts? LGD is amazing. IG's pretty good.
Amazing,
OG.
yeah. It just looks like, well, we haven't watched Aster, and they obviously have some problems, but it looks like the other Chinese teams all looking good to great.
Yeah.
At least for the opening of this TI group stage. That is also another note. Long days, group stage as well. Performances do change for a lot of teams. So we'll just have to see what unfolds in day 2 and day 3. The group stage, can't wait to be able to cast some more fantastic Dota. Feels real good to be back here at TI. And we're going to close out this stream, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.